Hello, my name is Jeff Gemiolo, and today I'm going to talk about heaven and hell. Seems like odd concepts. They're biblical. But really, actually, when you start doing some digging, there's really no references to heaven or hell. There are actually no references to hell, actually, in the Bible. Heaven is representing closer to being close to God. And heaven is being away, or hell is being away from God. And if you look at really that contrast, that's pretty much all you need to know. The question is when does it happen? From the Christian perspective, it is my soul comes here, it does its thing, and then I die, and then I go to heaven or I go to hell. No, that's not how that one works. Usually, you're judged. How well did you do on your assignment? And usually your assignment is, here's all the contracts, the spiritual contracts you're supposed to fulfill. How did you do? You had 10. Did you do, or you did 2? You need to come back. But if you don't believe in reincarnation, problem is we kind of get stuck in this ideology of heaven and hell. And it's very dualistic like that. It's like either going to heaven or going to hell. It's not actually really all that clear. Because to be honest with you can be a totally horrible person. But if God told you to be horrible for a reason, you're going to heaven. That's the dirty secret of it all. Because generally when people, how am I going to say this? You're being tested. The Lord wants to test you, to test your faith. He wants to test everything about you. So he sends someone down your path to be mean to you, horribly mean. He's really testing your reaction on how you react to that. So if you react, I guess, positively or an appropriate way for your soul, life is good. You passed the test. If not, you failed. You get to repeat it again with probably somebody else. Now, what's odd is you would say, well, that person was mean to me, was terrible to me, he went outside, ran over my cat, whatever it may be. That doesn't really matter if that was the contract to do that, and he did what the contract said. What gets people, when people have contracts and they do it, what usually gets them in trouble is they overdo it. They get obsessed with doing it. In other words, for 5 years, you're supposed to torture somebody, be mean to somebody. Instead, you do it for 20. Okay, that's when you start getting really horrible karma because you're not listening. It was only supposed to be for 5 years. But that's kind of the point, is it's usually when you don't listen, you go to the extremes. And because one of one of the soul's lessons is to listen, pay attention, and to walk away when you have to. So essentially stop it from being obsessed. Just like it's to experience love too, by the way. That's why you hear stories of people, they met in high school, and they're loved for the rest of their life and they're gone. As I said, that was their contract. They didn't have to look any farther. But as I said, heaven and hell. It's a fairly abstract concept. Some religions don't even have it. Some just believe you're in the dirt. But spiritually, you keep repeating, universal laws. You keep repeating until you get it right. Let me rephrase that. Until you change your path. So if you keep being mean, you're going to keep being mean. You're going to keep recycling and being mean. The problem is everyone involved doesn't have a lot of patience. So even the Lord doesn't have a lot of patience for if you're not changing. He'll take action and get rid of you. Which could mean anything from forcing a change, which is usually his favorite, or if you really are going off the rails, oopsie, your car fell off flew into a river. Oh well. As I said, life and death is in respect to the human body doesn't really matter because it's all about the soul. Is your soul learning or not? And that's generally what people forget, because that's all what karma is literally positive and negative of the soul. Did you do good or did you do bad? It's just lessons back and forth. So my favorite analogy I use is about a dog. But heaven and hell are very interesting places because, to my understanding, once you complete all your lessons and you're done, you then, quote, go to heaven. And heaven is nothing more actually than being close to God and going to a totally different world, not the training world of earth. You get to go to your own world of your own idea and creation. You get to kind of be the creator and do your own thing. Because now you know the rules. That's why you're here, to learn the rules. Hell is a little bit more interesting because if you go through the process of keep getting recycled, the Lord sometimes says you're clearly not changing. Especially when people get obsessed a lot with doing things. If they won't stop, the Lord will make them stop. And if they continue after that, there's only one place for you, and that would be hell in the wood chipper. And the wood chipper, I affectionately call it the wood chipper because you take a soul, you throw it in there, and it becomes into little small pieces of soul, never to be united again in that recipe. Just imagine if you scooped a whole bunch of the different souls up, threw them into a vat, and made a different recipe. We'll try again, but you'll never get that same recipe again. Very bizarre way to look at it, but that is pretty much a soul. And souls can be destroyed if the Lord wants it to. As I said, you have to really go through a lot of effort to do that. But as I said, people have a tendency to forget that we're always being tested. And hence the reason why you don't judge other people, because the real question is you don't know the facts, I don't know the facts. Was this person supposed to do this to me? The Lord told him to do it. Everyone wants to be mean. Someone stole my car. Oh my God. What if the Lord told someone to steal your car so that you can get a new one, a better one, with the insurance money? Think about it. What if someone, a drunk driver hits you and you total your car? What if the Lord wanted you a better car? What if we wanted you out of that situation? Whatever. That's what people don't really look at, is the reasoning why. But the Lord tests all the time. And it's usually not one test, too. If you fail it, actually, you'll get it 2 or 3 times. Sporadically. Different people. Same scenario. Because remember, your first lesson as a soul is to not repeat your cycles. To learn to recognize, cycles in general. Because everything is cyclical, so if you keep going in that same cycle, same path, you're going to keep going and getting the same answer. How does the expression go? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. When your soul does the same thing over and over again. So that's heaven and hell. As much as it seems like an abstract concept, it's not that abstract. I'll be honest with you, I don't know why the Christians went the route they did with heaven and hell the way they did. I do not. Me personally, I think it's a power thing with humans. I don't know. But realistically, Lord really doesn't talk about hell. He doesn't really talk that much about the devil really either. Think about it. But there has to be a contrast to him, which would have to be the devil. And as I said, the devil's job is just merely to do what the Lord says, ultimately. That's why the devil's still there. The devil says, you want me to test him? Yes, test him. That tested Job. The devil tested Jesus. As I said, everyone's being tested to see if we graduate. Good news is, new levels, new devils. Once you start passing these tests, you go higher up on the scale, and you just get different tests. They're more well, I wouldn't say they're less problematic. They're more, I guess you wouldn't say spiritual, more Christian maybe, more spiritual, more Christ consciousness. It's more of, do you really, not hate people? Let's see. Let me bring a hater right next to you. That kind of thing. We're all on a path to learn and grow. And that's what we do. That's all I had today. That's all I want to talk about is is heaven and hell. Because there seems to be a lot of people getting it all, not necessarily all wrong, but they're just out there. And I don't know why there are actually in other books that are Bible references to what is resurrection. So I don't know why they left them out of the canonized Bible. I do not know. But, I wasn't there, so generally we can't really, from a Bible perspective, as much as there's truth to it, you also need faith to believe what's there. Because was it mistranslated? Was it? And also, that's why you need a personal relationship with God. To find out what He wants you to know. Thank you and have a great day.